With every WordPress website that you create, there are a number of settings that you want to take a look at to make sure that your website is going to look and act the way you want it to. On your left-hand navigation bar, you'll notice that there is a settings menu, and it has several options for you to choose from. So let's walk through some of these. In the general settings, here you can set your site title and your tagline. You can also set your preferred URL. So if you would like www to appear in your URL, this is where you can make that change. You can also update your email address. If you allow visitors to log into your website, you can select for anyone to register, and you can also select what their role will be when they do register. Down below are more general settings. From your time zone, the date format that will appear next to your blog post, the time if that will also appear. So make those changes as it fits you and save those changes. Moving on to writing, this is a quick section. If you have several categories, as we'll talk about, you can select which category you would like for your new post to appear under automatically. So if you have the majority of posts going to one particular category, this will just save you a few seconds each time. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to override this setting with each individual post. Down below, if you would like to email posts to your website, you will be able to set up a unique email address here, and when you email that website with your post, it will show up on your website. So if that's something you'd like to do, that's where you can set that up. Under reading, this is going to depend on the theme that you select. However, if you have a blog and you want your blog post to appear on your home page, your front page displays your latest post is what you will select. If, however, you will be having a static home page for a business, then you want to select a static page. From your drop-down menu, you can select the home page that you've created, and then you can select a post page that you've created. So if you would like to create a blog page, for example, and have all of your posts appear there, this is where you can select that, and you can add that page to the menu. And again, you'll see below there are some basic settings for how many pages will show at a time, etc. Under discussion, this is all about people talking about your site and leaving comments. So this is definitely something that you want to pay attention to. Under your default article settings, you can choose whether or not you want WordPress to attempt to notify other blogs if you've linked to them from your article. This can be very helpful because this is a good way for you to connect with others. There's also the potential that if they like your article, you've written about them, that they may share it with their audience, which can help drive traffic to your website. But you may not want to do that, so that's up to you. You'll see here that there's some more comment settings. You can choose whether a user must be registered on your website before they log in. I typically allow people just to fill out their name and email, and then I can adjust the spam settings below as we'll talk about. But again, this depends on the site that you're working on. You can ask to be emailed whenever anyone posts a comment, or if there's a comment that's held for moderation, meaning that you must approve it before it's going to appear on your website. Under before a comment appears, you can select for the comment to be manually approved, meaning you will need to go in and approve every single comment that appears on your website. Or if a comment author has already had one of their previous comments approved, then their comment will automatically appear, which is a good idea because you've already approved their comment. You're showing that they don't spam your website. Below there are a few more comment settings that you can take a look at if you want to help filter out certain words or certain IP addresses if you're having any issues with spam. You can also select the avatar that you would like used on your website below and click Save. Let's take a look at media. You'll notice that when you upload a new image, you are automatically given the choice when you go to add an image to the website. Do you want the thumbnail version to appear? Do you want a medium size, large size, or full size image to appear? And you'll notice they all have their different sizes, and this is where you set those sizes. So you can choose what small, medium, large is here. WordPress will automatically upload your image files into month and year folders. Now this can be helpful if you have a large website and you will be hosting tons of images. Otherwise, I tend to uncheck it so that they don't separate each one of my images into different folders. That can get a little disorganized. Permalinks. This is a very, very important one you want to set on every site. This is so important because this is how your URL will appear to everyone if you send it out in a newsletter, if you share it on Facebook, whatever the case is. This is how your URL appears. And by default, WordPress is going to select day and name. As you can see, that's not very user friendly. That's not a link that I would want to give out to somebody. It's not something that I would be able to easily recite and have people remember. I always select post name because as you can see, it gives my URL / my post name. So for instance, if I have a page about SEO services here, I can say what my URL is webdesignandseohq.com / webdesign. And that's it. That is the URL. So that's much easier than having it broken down to / 2015 / 04 / 25 / web design. Nobody's going to remember that. So this is a really easy way to customize your URL. So as you can see, these settings are very important for you to go over for each site, and they really only take a few minutes for you to go in and adjust these settings, but they can make a really big difference.